Hey, welcome back. We're going to fix the last of the bugs that we found in this video, and I think this will be the last video for actually creating the game. The other two features I was thinking to add still is the little bomber that flies across just for bonus points, doesn't actually attack or anything, as well as the simple cruise missiles that try to avoid your missiles just a little. They're not very smart, but I think I'm just going to leave that. This series already got really long, and I got all the main core mechanics of the game out of this, and I learned a lot doing it, so I think I'm going to leave it like that. I might come back to it later when I have time and polish it up and make a finished game out of it that, I can maybe put it on mobile or even just a simple web builder or something to play. Although the binary formatter won't work with web builds, so we wouldn't have a high score on a web build. But we'll see then. Let's go back and fix these bugs though. So let's go back to our game and to the code. Okay, so the three left that I found is sometimes the missile count gets a bit out, and I did a lot of troubleshooting to figure out what was going on. And it seems to be when there's multiple collisions triggered, sometimes it doesn't register one. And I was trying to find a simple way to update the count, but it doesn't always seem to be picking up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this one here, where if the end game or the end of round part is triggered, basically the missiles left is 0. It's not round over and it's not game over. It'll trigger this. I'm going to do in here, let's call it, well, it's going to be type enemy missile. Enemy missile. It's going to be an array. I'm just going to do M. And I'm going to do equals game object dot find objects of type enemy missile. So it's going to find all the enemy missiles in the scene. And then I'm going to do if M dot length equals 0. And then we run this code. So it's a little bit of a hack fix. But it does work. It just, resource wise it's very minimal, but it is technically worse because it has to do the search for them. But on how small this game is and how small it is, you would have to do this thousands of times to really notice it. So this should work fine. So let's just do a quick test, make sure our round still ends completely, but I'm pretty confident it will. So I'm just going to actually finish around here. Okay, so that still works fine. So that's the one bug fixed. The other one I noticed is when we're playing the game, when we beat the level text here doesn't actually update. And I don't think we ever actually told it to increase the level. Let's check our end of round. Okay, so we do tell it to update the level text, but we don't actually update the level. So I'm just going to update that here. Oops. Level plus plus. So let's test out both of these. We'll complete one level, it should end properly, and it should say level 2. I was doing a bunch of playtesting, and it does actually get pretty hard pretty fast a couple of rounds in. Okay, so level 2, so that's working. Okay, and the one other thing I noticed is the high score list is a bit buggy, that it does actually get above 5 even though we have this part here. So I thought that would fix it, but sometimes it does actually get longer than that. So what I'm going to do is, let's do in here. So when we call at the end of the round, when the game's over, we check if you have a new high score. What I'm going to do here is actually just kind of prune off everything that is past 5. So we're going to do remove range. And for the range, I'm going to set it, so this takes in the index of where you want to start removing it, and then how many. So we're going to do 5. And then what I'm going to do is high score entry list dot count minus 5. So this will get the length of it minus 5 that we want to keep, and it's going to remove from 5 all the way up to there. So now if we test this, if we look at our high score, that one's just got blank for a name, but it still exists. These should be the only 5 in there. So as long as we get under 951, we should not get a high score. So I'm just going to let a bunch of these blow up. Okay, so we didn't get a high score, it went right to the end. So that seems to be working good. So that's pretty much the whole game actually. So I'm just gonna sum it up. I'll make one more video. I'm just gonna do kind of a recap of what I learned on this and just things I picked up, and definitely ways I would do this better the next time now that I know how to kind of plan for it. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll make that one next.